Good day, Irondale, and we're back. I had to take a bow tie break to be able to be in my regular professional mode of being the mayor. However, we were having some technical difficulties, but I believe that we have worked them out. We are glad to be here today to be able to share with you the unadulterated truth about what goes on in the city of Irondale. I will be interviewing our very homegrown Miss Leigh Allison, who serves as the city clerk for the city of Irondale. We call her position the hub because every spoke in the city is connected to the hub. She has something to do with everything that is going on. And I wanted you all to be able to see another side of her. Not only is she great at doing her job, but she's going to give you some insight about who she is, about her job. But most of all, we're going to have an opportunity to talk about how did you enjoy your first election. As we move forward, I'm going to begin with my first thing by saying, Leigh, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Mayor. Thank you for having me.
I am very excited to be able to have you at the mayor's desk, although you are only 30 feet away from the mayor. We work almost in the same office, but it gives me great pleasure to be able to introduce you to the individuals in the city of Irondale that may not know you. And we just want to be able to shed light about who you are, what you do on a day to day basis. But I'm going to start out by saying to you, inform our listening audience about your connection to the city of Irondale before you even start working at the city.
So, I have very deep roots here in Irondale. My great grandparents lived here, my grandparents, my mom. I grew up here, uh, graduated from Valley. My husband grew up here, graduated from Valley, played softball from 6 years old to 18 at Ruffner. So very deep roots here. My grandfather owned Chandler's Garage. So if any of you went there, you would have met him. My mom worked in the office there, along with Becky Chandler, who is also my cousin. So family, all family down there.
As you can see, Irondale is all in it. I mean, there's cousins, there are connections. I mean, you talk about it, Leigh is so tied in to our great city. You can proceed, Leigh. I just
Okay.
wanted to be able to throw this in. Hey, we just having a conversation. This is casual. We're just opening up, talking to the people, letting them see the real side of us. There's no script. There are no questions. You can just say whatever you want to say.
I will say, I don't recall Kellogg having all this.
Well,
So
we
this is different.
upgraded. The couple of weeks ago, we were just kind of flying by the cuff, but now we look very professional with our headphones and our microphones. Hey, you know how we do it in the city of Irondale. We try to do everything with the spirit of excellency, which means that as we continue to do this broadcast, we will make it more better, more better, more better.
I thought maybe he wouldn't wear the headphones because it'd mess up his hair or something.
Well, yeah, I don't think he wanted to get any jail
Yeah.
in the headset, but he missed out
He did.
on the treat of being able to do it the way that you are doing
He
it.
did.
But if you would just share with our audience, let them know what is it in the day in the life of a city clerk.
Well, it's like being in a hurricane, really. Like you have information coming from all different sides. Every day is different, different challenges every day. And that's probably one of the hardest adjustments I had to make because I'm pretty structured, as you know.
Very
But
structured. Do you know a person that will create a list that they've already done what they needed to do, but then they will put it on the list so that they could check it off? That's
right,
Leigh.
yeah. So that was definitely the biggest adjustment was not knowing, not having I could sit there the night before and plan my day out, and it just not happen the way. So I had to learn how to adjust.
Well, the word on the street, you're the best city clerk that has ever stepped your feet into City Hall. What do you have to say about that statement?
Well, considering I'm sitting across from the prior city clerk, I don't believe that.
It's not a trick question. You could go ahead. If you feel that you perform at a rate that's higher than me,
Oh, no.
I'm good with that.
No, sir. Absolutely not.
Well, you're absolutely right. I was the best city clerk to be able to be here in the city of Irondale, but I didn't say that to trip you up or
You set the
anything
bar
like that.
really
I
high.
tried to set the bar very, 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 very high,
You did.
and I was privileged to have this moment to be able to serve because it did prepare me for being the mayor for the city. I walked in ready to be able to do the job because a city clerk has so many duties that goes along with it. And that's why you know that I am very sympathetic to you because I know what you go through on a day-to-day basis. But why don't you just share with the people that, hey, you run a revenue department, a finance department, an HR department, any other things that fall within. You have to deal with risk management, you deal with budgets, you deal with the finances, you deal with all of the vendors and things of that nature, the capital project. You're the person that's keeping up with all of that. But most of all, you have to deal with me. Please inform the people what is one of our typical days, or tell them how I'm not structured like
No,
you.
no,
And
not
because
at all.
I'm not as structured as you, if I get an idea or a vision, I'm ready to move on it. But just go ahead and share with the people in your very own way.
Well, that was another adjustment because you are not structured. And, I'll put myself on the calendar just to talk to you, even though I sit right outside your office. So, and I'm the first one to get bumped, but that's okay. We can talk it on nights and weekends.
That's
So,
true. I bet you all don't believe that, but there are days that we have to talk to each other after 5 because the office is so busy, because Lee is the hub. Everything runs through her. We may find 45 people in there. We never get a chance to be able to chat and be able to do anything. But even through it all, because it still doesn't fit your personality, will you share with the people, have you been able to adapt since you've been in the position for the last 3 years?
well, as you can see, I did not go to the city clerk office physically. I stayed in the assistant office
I
because
tried to get rid of you all. I tried. And I said, why don't you go to the city clerk office? And
no.
she was like, no, I want to be able to continue to be here with you. The way that all of this started, I'll lay it the groundwork or put it in the proper context. When I became the mayor, Lee became my assistant. And we ended up hiring another individual to be able to serve as the city clerk. However, that did not last very long. We had to go through the personnel board to be able to prove that Lee had the experience to be able to sit in the position. I talked to her a lot of times about the position, or things don't happen in life the way that you want them to, but you have to be patient. And she was very patient. And when her opportunity came, she was ready to be able to step in and to be able to get the job done. And that takes a lot of endurance to be able to know that you're qualified to do something and somebody else comes in to be able to do it. And then all of a sudden you are thrust into that position. How did you feel when all of this was going on?
Well, I just looked at your journey. You didn't, the election you lost, and then
Oh, Lee, you didn't have
I'm
to bring
sorry.
it up about
Well,
it. I
it
mean,
ended up good
you know
because
that's painful to me. I lost by 21 votes. You don't have to remind me of that wound that I took for 8 years to be able to get the nerves to run for mayor again. But you can go ahead.
but it turned out well because then you became city clerk, and then you went. That's when our paths crossed, and you became part of my journey as well. Um, and I'll never forget. I think you started to really trust me when my mom asked you something about the city, and you were like, "Your daughter works there. Why don't you ask her?" and, and she was like, "She won't tell me anything." So I think that kind of started us off.
It did because I was surprised. There are so many things that comes through the mayor's office, and some of those are economic development deals, and you have to be very
Mhm.
confidential about those things. And I think it was when I was running for office the second time, and they were having the ceremony to welcome me into the race, and I was having a conversation with Lee's mother, and she asked me a question. And I'm like, your daughter sits right in the office. I'm quite sure she knows. And she said, she doesn't tell me anything. And I knew right there that she would be the right person to the job. Not only does she have the skill set that I don't have, but she's very confidential and private. And that is one of the traits that is needed to be a successful city clerk. We've talked about your journey, what goes into the job. But what I really, really want to talk to you about is your first election.
Yeah. It was, well, I was really excited about the election.
You were like, Mayor, I hope you have somebody to be able to run against. I want to be able to do my first election, and it's going to be so much fun. And
Right.
I was like, Lee, if I run up unopposed, I'm good with that. But she was no, she prayed for this election. And because her prayer was so strong, God decided to deliver me someone to be able to run against in the election. But share the nuances and the behind the scenes. Let the people know how you were accused of being untrustworthy, how with the absentee ballots that all of them wasn't counted, as if we were using a new procedure to process those things. Let the people know emotionally, how did you feel with all the criticism that came towards you, and you were only trying to manage the election.
Well, I think it even started before the election kicked off because, you know, things were said or implied that something nefarious was going on and it was meant to, go towards you. But really, people don't realize that falls on the employees actually doing the work.
Did you all hear what Lee just said? When you criticize me, you're not only talking about me, but you're talking about the people who work with me.
Yeah. So that was hard on staff and myself because, we would never be a part of something like that. We would never, we're here to do a job and to serve the city.
Well, I heard a lot of things. I mean, one of them I heard that you became the city clerk because I took the exam for you and
Yeah.
there was no exam to take.
Well, I was going to ask what you made because, I have, my number one strength is achiever. So
Yeah, I
I
know you
hope
have a
you
very
made
high
a,
standard. I can't remember what score I made because I never took the test for you, but there are some bright people that were out there and assumed that I took the exam for you to become the city clerk when the only thing you had to do was turn in your resume.
based off of resume and experience. And also, if anybody is familiar with the personnel board, when you go take a test, you have a license that you have to give, and the license has to match the person. I know we kind of look similar.
We do look similar.
So
I'm bald and black and you're white and blonde. But yes,
I'm sure you
I
could pass for
I'm
me.
quite sure on one of my best days I can pass for you. And apparently there were a few people that believed that I actually did that.
Yeah. So just for the record, I got this job on my own merit, my own resume. It had nothing
She
to
got
do
the
with the
job
mayor.
on her own.
The,
Exactly.
the other one was that you sat for the CPA test for me.
Yes.
I wasn't aware I was an accountant. I mean, I'm
I
a
am an
treasurer.
accountant and I'm
You,
not aware that I'm the CPA.
yeah.
But
So,
we love to be able to be criticized because that lets us know that people are watching exactly what we're doing. It makes us be better stewards of what we're doing, more accountable, and all of those different things that come with the job. But there was a story that on election night, when you came out and you began to give out all of the vote counts, you made it through everybody's votes, first district, second, third, fourth, and fifth. But when you got to announce the mayor, you gave everybody a false sense of security because when you called the numbers out, you began to tear up. And people thought that I had lost
Yeah.
the election. Can you give us a behind the scenes of what was going through your head as you were sitting there getting ready to announce that the mayor was getting ready to become the mayor for a second term?
Well, like we were talking about, it was very emotional just because of all the things being said, how the campaigns were going, things being said about staff. It was just a lot of stress and an emotional toll, I guess. I think I cried 3 times that day just for the stress of it, I guess. But that it was just more of, relief that it's over, we can go back to normal.
So are you glad that you prayed for this election? Because, hey, that's what you wanted. And that's what
I'm going
we
to have to
ended up
reassess.
getting.
I don't know.
And I guess I'm asking you, are you praying for 2029 to be able
No,
to
I don't want to think about
experience
2029.
the same thing? To be able to just be there in the moment is nothing better than spending 2 months going through a process and then everything culminates in within 30 minutes.
Well, actually, we started training in November of 24.
That's right. I
Yeah.
remember you going to Orange Beach. You and
Hmm.
Marcy went and got ready to be able to do it. You were fortunate that I had gone through a few elections and we had Josh and Frank. I mean, you had a
And I
very,
called them.
and you called
Yep.
them and you had a very supportive staff
Yes.
to be able to help you to be able to do them through the process. But let's move from the election. Tell me, what is the most challenging part of your job?
Well, I'm an introvert, and you always make me do extroverted things like this.
I'm trying to pull you out of your I'm trying to pull you out of your comfort zone.
But you know what's funny? When you do make me do those things, just like you got me on an airplane.
Sure did.
I was never going to get on an airplane, but that was probably my favorite trip ever. That trip.
I believe that you had more fun on the trip than I did because I was presenting before the
Yes.
S&P and I had to sit there and prepare and to be able to get ready. But you all got a chance to be all able to do all the external things. And I believe that now you don't mind flying anywhere as long as it's first class.
Yeah, I'm not. You spoiled me there. I'm
I
not.
know, I know because we built different. We
Yeah.
we just do things here at the city a totally different way. But that was a good experience when we had a chance to go to New York and to be able to sit before the S&P and you had a chance to be able to experience that. My goal has always been to make sure that you receive the same opportunities that I received when I was in the job because one day I won't be here, but I know and everybody else know, and I always share it with you all the time. Who runs the city? The city clerk runs the city. The mayor just kind of shows up and have a. I get all of the glory or I get all the criticism. The city clerk is behind the scenes doing a lot of things to be able to make it happen. Just tell the people, what have you already done this morning? And we're talking about you only being here for 4 hours. We were here last night to about 8 o'clock with the city council meeting. But then tell the listening audience how you turn it around and come in and you were here at about 8:30 ready to proceed with another progressive day.
Well, a lot of times, I don't get my desk work done during the day. So no matter what time I get home, I'll still have things to do when I get home or, wrap up or somebody will throw an agenda item at me and I'll need to write that up. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much the life of the city clerk.
The life of a city clerk. Well, I know when we have the Citizen Engagement Institute, you always give a wonderful presentation about that. For the individuals that have not gone through saying, Tell them about the skit that you put together to help people to visually see what you experience on a day to day basis.
It's hard, as you know, to sit here and tell you every single thing. So it's just easier visually to show people. So I have great coworkers and employees and family and friends that take part in a skit to actually show you what it looks like all day.
And what do you enjoy? What gives you the most when you leave here? I know what it is. I'm going to see if you're going to say the same thing that I'm going to say. But what makes you feel when you walk out of that door that you've had a fulfilling day here in the city?
Are you talking about my list when I check stuff off or when you sign stuff or
Exactly. I'm
stuff
I'm
like that?
talking about your list because I don't have a list. I hate lists. I keep everything in my head. That's why I forget half of the things that I'm supposed to do on a day-to-day basis. But I would say that's the beauty of our relationship because we are different. God has sent someone into my life to be able to help me in the areas that I'm weak in. I love to talk. You don't like to talk. We're both introverts, but I'll turn it on because of the job. But you also know that I will go home and get on the couch and I won't do anything as long as I got a remote in my hand, ESPN,
Yeah.
Diet Dr. Pepper, and a Hershey bar. But can you tell us how our differences makes us such a great combination to work here in the city?
I think because you really like my jokes.
Wow.
You think I'm really funny and you need
She's
humor
real
in your life.
funny. She's real funny. I'll tell you all and be upfront. I hate dad jokes. She ended up sewing a dad joke in book into my life, and I ended up opening up a staff meeting giving dad jokes. And she gives corny jokes, Josh gives corny jokes, and Jared.
Yep.
Their jokes are not funny at all. Matter of fact, do you want to share with the people one of the pranks that you all pulled on me that almost got everybody fired?
I can talk about Jared.
You can talk about Jared.
Oh, yes. Sorry, Jared. So I think you said it was the day before Halloween. Okay, day before Halloween. And do you know the blow up costumes with the little fan in them? So Jared had a dinosaur one, and it looked like he was riding the dinosaur. And we were about to have a staff meeting.
And who encouraged him to do that?
I think it was,
The fire chief?
yeah.
Okay.
No, I don't really know. Um, but Jared was hiding in the hallway to scare all the department heads when they walked walked in. And you were walking by and he, charged at you with it and you were quite mad and I think Jimmy might have emerged. And so we walked into staff meeting and Jared had to sit with a deflated dinosaur in his chair knowing that you're mad at him, just sitting there with that on him.
And he deserved that.
It was so
He really,
funny.
really deserved that. They know that I'm older and I can't take a lot of excitement, and they still do things to make my heartbeat jump from time to time. But yeah, they'll pull something on me in a minute. But do you happen to have any of your corny jokes, or would you like to tell our people that are out there what I have to endure
Well,
on a
I did
regular
think
basis?
of one that Josh had sent me.
Okay, go ahead
Um,
and share one of your dad jokes.
well, did you know that dogs can bark up to 500 times per day?
No, I had
It
no idea that
it's
they
just
can
a
do
rough estimate.
that.
he laughed. It's
That
on
was
camera.
good.
He laughed.
That was good because half of the time I drop my head, I'd be like, Lord,
I said
what
either I'm
did
going to get the head roll,
yeah, what did I
eye
do
roll.
to be able to deserve that one? That one is good. The
That
next
was
time I'm
good.
doing a finance deal, I'll make sure that I share with people how to be able to get to a rough estimate. Do you have another joke that you would like to share? You're on the roll.
Well,
I don't want to break it while you're doing so good today.
I have two stories I want to share
Go ahead
about
and
the
tell your two
tricks that
stories. We got time. We got
Okay.
time.
Can I name names?
You can name names. You can do whatever you want to. This is as I stated, unadulterated.
Okay. So, part of my job, when the mayor needs to see someone, he'll say, "Hey, can you call so and so and have them come in?" Well, I take full advantage of having that power, and I'll call them, to scare them because nothing's wrong. You just want to talk to them face
I
to
just
face.
want to talk to them.
So, one day, I think April from Dispatch sent you an email, and you just wanted to talk to her, and so I texted her, and I was like, "Hey, the mayor needs to see you." And she was at Walmart shopping for supplies for Dispatch, and she ended up leaving her buggy in Walmart and rushed here without purchasing anything
She sure did.
for no reason.
The power of the city clerk and the mayor working together.
Okay, my last one.
The last one is really, really funny.
Oh, sorry, picking on Chief Kellogg today, but so he's kind of the newbie.
He's the newbie, so he's not used to it.
No,
We pull
which
a
is
lot
really
of pranks
fun.
on
Yeah.
him. Yeah, it's very, very exciting, exhilarating when we get a chance to do things to him.
Yeah. So you needed to see him for something. I think about hiring police officers or something.
Yeah, police officers were walking in the door right and left.
Yeah.
I didn't know who these individuals were. A little Jimmy came out and I had you to call him.
But you weren't mad. You were just going to
No, I wasn't mad. I just wanted to have a conversation to figure out why all these strange people were running through here going to HR. And I hadn't signed off on anybody. But,
Right.
Other than that, I was good.
So I texted him, "Hey, can you come to the mayor's office? He needs to see you." And he didn't respond. And I'm thinking, and it had, some time had passed and he hadn't shown up. And I was thinking, the police station's right across the street. He takes 2 steps, he's at our door. And then I got to thinking, what if he drove all the way home? And then I sent him that. But then finally he came rushing in the door. He was in the middle of a haircut and he got up in the middle of his haircut and rushed here for no reason.
Which,
We felt bad about.
yeah, the backside of his head, he still
Were you here, John?
was still working through trying to get his hair cut. That was a very, very funny moment because, he always walks in the door and he's like, "Your Honor."
Yeah.
And I'm like, just call me mayor. Just call me mayor. Call me Your Honor.
I don't think I've done it since then because I felt bad about
No,
that.
that one was really, he came in and we were just like, why is water dripping on the back of your sports coat? And he said, I was sitting in the chair and I was getting a haircut and Lee told me to hurry down here because you wanted to be able to have a conversation with. By the way, he was still the interim
right.
as well. He was trying to make sure that he didn't do anything to jeopardize his opportunity of getting the job to be the police chief. But Kim always tell me at home, Lee, she said, you and I are like a tag team.
Yeah.
We are alike. I mean, we think alike. I even tell people, when I'm not here, people can call you and you can give them the answer that I was going to give them if I was here, because we have just been with each other for so long and we just mesh very well to be able to do the job. Not only do we talk when we're here, but we talk during the weekends and, there's always things that's going on in the city. And I just want to let our people know how much I appreciate you being a part of what's going on here in the city. I couldn't do all the things that I do. I wouldn't get all of the things that comes my way. And I want to be able to give you your roses while you're here to let you know how grateful I am to be able to have you to be working 30 feet away from me. That it's really been a joy. Even though you're corny, even though you are more disciplined, you're more task-oriented.
Yes.
I'm a visionary. I'm just off the cuff. I may, tell them what I may do when I come in. But Lee has been a blessing.
Well, I would not be here without your mentorship and your leadership and all the department heads around me. I mean, I can call anybody and everybody's there for me and helps me. And you've helped me along my journey, and I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. And I've really enjoyed interviewing you today.
And nobody interrupted us.
And nobody interrupted us. The door has been shut. Maybe that's why
Maybe that's why.
nobody has come in to mess with us today. But again, it's been a joy to be able to have you on the podcast, to be the second individual, and we're consistently working to be able to make things better. On February the 4th, my next guest is Mr. Frank Pennington, who is the Director of Public Works. I call him the backbone of the city. There's nothing that goes on in the city that Public Works does not have their hand in. You see Public Works more than you see me. And the only time sometimes they receive their accolades, or when we do hear things, is because people are complaining about their trash not being picked up, the garbage can was overflowing. And even though you violated what the ordinance says, you're still upset with Frank. But he has such a wonderful demeanor, and he handles everything in a very positive way. He's been here for over 20 years, and I want to make sure that he stays here even longer. But that's what we're going to be able to do on February the 4th. Again, I thank you for tuning in to the mayor's desk. Hopefully, we've been able to shed light on what the city clerk does and how the city clerk works with the mayor to make the city go. And if you have any additional questions or anything, feel free to send us some comments that are very positive comments about how you've enjoyed the day, but also how we can be able to improve the show. Leigh, is there anything that you would like to say before I close out our second episode?
I would like to just plug Citizen Engagement Institute. If you have not joined a class, it's such a good experience, not only for the department heads and the presenters, but also the citizens. You know, you get to build that relationship with.
And when
with
is our next class scheduled?
Emma?
March the
What'd you say? 30th? 30th.
March the 30th. Make sure you look out to be able to come to the Citizen Engagement Institute so you can learn more about the city. Again, we have enjoyed our time that we've had to be able to sit here and talk about some crazy and corny things, from elections to dad jokes. But this is what we do on a day-to-day basis, and we just wanted you to be able to see how we do things differently in the city of Irondale. Again, we look forward to you joining us on February the 4th, as I have the great, I would say, moment in time to be able to interview our Public Works Director, Frank Pennington. And as I close out Message with the Mayor, I've created another closing for the podcast. May God bless you, and may he continue to bless the city of Irondale. We'll see you in 2 weeks.